Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
This live
Are you
talk.
ready?
Live
Are you
talk.
ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
And welcome to Live Talk. I am your host, Arthur Jeremiah, alongside my two co-hosts, Minister Samuel.
Hey, welcome back again to Live Talk.
And the spiritual ambassador, Yike Ezekiel.
Peace. Good afternoon.
All right, before we do anything, let's go to a general statement and disclaimer.
General statement. Live Talk is proudly powered by TBS Goodwill, Builders of the Highway Foundation, and Men of Purpose. Together, we're bringing about awareness to the everyday challenges facing individuals, communities, and our nation. We tell our stories, listen to yours, and always respect different perspectives. Want to share your voice? Email us at livetalkorl@gmail.com to be a guest, or if you would like to contribute to our mission, purpose, go to livetalkorl.com to give a donation. Disclaimer. Information provided during this event and others to come does not constitute the official opinion of Live Talk or its affiliate entities. It is strongly recommended that viewers seek independent expert advice regarding any topics discussed, as legal requirements differ significantly across jurisdictions and are subject to frequent changes. If you have questions or concerns, you can always email us at livetalkorl@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Facebook and or Instagram at Live Talk Orlando.
All right. Welcome back to Live Talk. My brothers, how are you doing today, Minister?
Doing great. Believe it or not, we just closed the page on another month and opening up a new month. You know, we on the a half a year is already gone, and we working on that last half.
Awesome. Brother Yike Ezekiel, you live in the studio.
Magnificent. All is well in the land, and brother said we're getting closer to the end of the year, which means you're getting closer to the goals.
All right, indeed. I can concur with each of you brothers. It is a journey. We have made it halfway through the year. Matter of fact, no, we've made it a quarter through the year, almost. And that's a beautiful thing. And we have grown, and we're continuing to grow. So that's another beautiful thing. So I'm happy for that. And I hope our audience are just as well as we are and doing just as good as we are. And we're just going to give you a rundown of the show today. First, we'll have the minister word of today. Right after that, we'll go to a commercial break, and then we'll come back with our main topic. Our main topic today is restoring birth support, why doulas matter today. And we have a special guest that will be joining us today to speak on this topic. After that, we'll go to another commercial break, and we may continue with this topic, or we'll dive into some community news. And then right after that, we'll get ready to close out. We'll just close out with either reading or a quote from the host. So with no further ado, Minister, what is the word of today?
Here, where are we? Today is August 1st, 2026, and our word of the day is going to be guidance. Guidance. And it can be defined as information aimed at resolving a problem or difficulty. Guidance, the act or process of guiding, suggesting a wise or proper course of action. Guidance, help and advice about how to do something or how to deal with problems. Guidance, to steer in the right direction. It is also supervised care or assistance, especially therapeutic help in the treatment of minor emotional disturbances. Some synonyms are advice, information, counsel, input, and recommendation. Quote today from the Dalai Lama was wisdom is the best guide and faith is the best companion. Guidance.
Right. Word of today is guidance. We want to make sure we lock that in. And thank you for that word of the day, my brother. We're going to go to a commercial break and be right back.
At NOY Store, we bring culture, style, and wellness all in one place. Explore our collection of cultural apparel designed to inspire and connect. From t-shirts to polos, boldly tell your story. Need guidance on your journey? Check out our books written to inspire and support your spiritual, personal, and community growth. And give your body the care it deserves with our health and wellness products like natural toothpaste, soothing body butters, and more. We're always adding new products to empower your life so you can live with purpose and style. Visit NOYstore.com today, where culture, wellness, and inspiration come together. Shop at NOYstore.com.
All right. Welcome back to the show. And joining us today will be our dear sister, Shiphrah. She is a wife. And go ahead and bring her on the stage because we need to hear what we we're introducing her. So joining us today again is our sister Shiphrah. She is a wife, devoted mother of 4, and a passionate advocate for mothers, infants, and their families from West Palm Beach, Florida. She became a certified birth and postpartum doula with Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies in 2023, and is the first doula in the state of Florida to become an endorsed infant and family specialist through the Florida Association for Infant Mental Health. She is dedication to strengthening families, providing compassionate support, education, and informed care are evident through many years of health information management and community-based family services. Her courage, reverence for God, and commitment to teach birth education shapes her understanding of faith and purpose. She has walked alongside families during some of life's most significant moments, from pregnancy and childbirth to early years of parenting. Her work is rooted in the belief that healthy families create thriving communities, and nourishing begins long before birth. She has recently started her own business, East Wind Community Care. So I like to say, welcome to the show, my dear sister, Shiphrah.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite and allowing me to actually for providing this space for me to be a part of. You all have educational information that the community definitely needs to hear. So thank you.
No problem, sis. How you feeling though? How are you feeling today, this Saturday morning?
I'm good. I'm actually feeling really good and excited today.
So you're enjoying this Florida weather? It's been raining a lot.
Yeah, we need it though. So, and it's been extremely hot. So
Yes,
I guess
indeed.
the best of the rain and the sun.
And you're down in West Palm Beach, so you stay close to the waters down there.
I'm actually really close to the water. I'm one exit over from what they call Singer Island Beach.
All right. So I know we brought you on, I introduced you to our audience. Anything, let them know anything that I may not have mentioned. Let's talk a little bit about yourself, who you are.
Thank you. Well, as you mentioned, my name is Shiphrah. I am a wife and a mother of 4 sons. Um, what can I say about me? Yes, I'm from Palm Beach County. I have a background, almost 10 years in health information. I studied to become a doula, which actually was a surprise because after raising my 4 children, and I would say I was a semi-single mother, which made it difficult, of course, to raise them up without, or should I say, not having things that we needed. So I always took a love and attachment to women that were single or raising their children alone. And the opportunity came for me to become a doula. So I definitely jumped on that. In 2023, I became a certified birth and postpartum doula. And with that certification, the doors opened up for me to become an infant and family specialist. And here I am.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to receive you. The information that you're about to share today, what we're going to be talking about, is not talked about in a community like that. So it really intrigued me just hearing you just mention that you was the first. State that again, because you said in Florida the first certified. State that one more time before I get it wrong.
That's okay, sure. I am the first doula in the state of Florida to become an infant and family specialist.
Right. So that's something huge, sis. I mean, when I heard that, I was like, we got to talk about this. And we got to bring my sister onto the show so she can share with the audience, with our listening audience, because we connect with the community. We try to connect with the community on levels that the community can receive, because education is paramount, as you may know. So just being able to bring you onto the show and talk about this, and I think is huge, brothers. I know we introduced her, brought her in, and we're talking a little bit about what her background experience, and I know you brothers have some questions as well. I will open up the floor and let you brothers kind of jump right in there.
I'll start off because it's like, we go probably have to circle back because she's first certified infant and family specialist. But I would like to go back to the very beginning, because we talk about doulas in our community, but not enough. And it's kind of, I don't think we're educated enough. So Shiphrah, if you can indulge us, enlighten our audience on actually, what actually is a doula? What do they do? Because I think some people are not aware of what it is and how important that is.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for asking that question. A doula, the term doula, should I say, is from the New Testament Holy Bible, from the Greek language, and it is pronounced doule, and it is classified as a female servant. And as a doula, I am a highly trained non-medical professional that provides guidance, physical and emotional and informational support to birthing persons and their families. Doulas advocate for positive birth outcomes. That is really that's what we do. We make sure that moms have all the information that they need from the start of birth through postpartum to make sure that they're healthy and that their infants are healthy as well.
Okay.
Do you have any?
Do you want to jump in there?
I can go on.
How does one?
Any questions?
Yes. How does one go about becoming a certified doula?
I joined with Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies. I'm not sure how broad they are in the country, but you can definitely go online and look it up. There are hundreds of different places where one could become a doula if wanting to. That's male or female if you wanted to become a doula.
All right,
you can
since it's
actually look it up.
awesome. I'm pretty sure you may share some tips at the end for those, I would say, those really considering becoming a doula. After this, show, they'll understand a lot more about what a doula is. Now, I want to understand, I want the audience to understand and know what's the difference between a doula and a midwife? Because oftentimes I done heard of midwife,
Absolutely.
but doula, and sometimes people may get that, misconstrued as being one of the same. Can you share with us on that one?
Absolutely. And again, thank you for asking that question. In the Old Testament, as I mentioned, actually in the New Testament, I mentioned that the doulas were female servants. Now, these same female servants were midwives in the Old Testament. Midwives offer obstetric training. Obstetrics meaning they take care of the mother and the infant's medical part of health. Doulas do not do anything medical. We are here for empathy and support and guidance and education. So the difference between the obstetrician confirms pregnancy, they monitor the health of the pregnant person and the fetus, ordering and interpreting blood tests, ultrasounds, and others diagnostic testing, as well as identifying and treating any complications.
Okay.
And I'll go add to that with a question, because I heard you was talking about being able to give them support in the beginning, through, and even through the postpartum. Why it's so important in our community, because we still, people of color, for Black women, we have the highest rate of infant mortality, death of the mothers. So doulas would be very, in order to try to change that reality, doulas would definitely be someone that could help guide them. But let me let you speak to that point, because I know that that's a problem within our community.
Yes, it is. I first want to clarify that the term doula is about 50 years old. The work itself is ancient. Throughout history, women have supported one another during childbirth in communities around the world. And I'd actually like to take you back to a little bit of history. So remember, in so-called Black or African American midwives, indigenous healers, and herbalists provided healthcare based upon generations of experience and self-knowledge. In about the early 1800s, since most so-called Black or African American and indigenous women lacked state licensing, training, and regulatory requirements, they were excluded from medical schools. Segregation and discrimination and lack of education also played a really huge part in enabling them to become certified. So, which means that we lost, without being able to practice, we lost the community support. We were no longer recognized as birth workers or trusted women in the community to support women. So the Flexner's report came out in the early 1900s, which recommended closing schools that did not meet new scientific standards. And its purpose was to evaluate every medical school in the United States and in Canada to recommend reforms. Now, these reforms were supposed to change medical health education into an improved form of medical education. The reshape of this education made it difficult for midwives or herbalists to practice without adequate training. They were shut down. So in generations to come, the communities lost, like I mentioned, the trust of birth workers and herbalists whose knowledge had been passed down from generations. And you were right, the mortality rate for Black women is much higher than any other race or nation. We are the first ones to have to have surgeries or that have medical conditions when it comes to birth. And some of those reasons began with lack of care or being mistreated in the facilities that we seek care from.
And thank you, because education is going to be very helpful, and that's part of what doulas do.
Also, how do you help the partner feel involved in the process?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
How do you help the couple feel involved in the process?
So basically, is that support just for the one that's birthing the child, or is it for the couple, like husband and wife?
Okay,
I know you support the mother
so
in childbirth, but that's what he asking.
And that's another great question, because yes, thank you. I couldn't hear, but yes, the way that I help families is that I meet either a maternal mother who may just be alone, or if she does have a partner, which could be the father of the baby, it could be her mother, or anyone advocating for her. But what I do is I meet with the client, I sit with them, and we discuss what that maternal mother wants for her pregnancy. And I enlighten her with information on what is available and what advocacy looks like. And what advocacy does look like is me being there to support where they're, so dads usually, if we can keep it real in the hospitals, when it's time for delivery, dad is just there. He doesn't really know what to do. He's just there. So I encourage him to give the mother encouraging words to let mom know that it's okay, and we kind of talk about these things before we get to the hospital. I kind of don't want it to look like I'm the one that's doing it. So I encourage dad whenever I have the opportunity to speak words of inspiration, to let mom know that it's going to be okay to rub the belly. I walk through the halls with mothers during their labor. That society now tells us that, we're supposed to lay on our backs to give birth, but I have never heard of any pregnant woman who's in labor that says, I want to go lay down, So I teach them those things. I teach them about doing what their body feels, which means moving around, sometimes even standing in a certain position. Now, these moms would have to check with the facilities that they're going into if they're having a facilitated birth, to check if those things are allowed, because the system is just set on, you come in, we provide our services the way that we do it, and the way they do it is to push the medications. I let the families know that their bodies produce, pain-killing hormones on its own. If your partner or your doula is there to support you, there are different methods that these parents can take, or maternal mothers can take, to reduce pain throughout their labor. So yes, I'm just there to advocate, to make sure that they know that they have choices in the hospital, because the hospitals or medical facilities, birth centers do not let them know that they have choices. And as women, we feel like we're in labor. All we want to do is just push this baby out, and when it comes to us having that mindset, we don't understand that birth is supposed to be an amazing experience. We're bringing life into the world. So you want to be felt special during this time, which means having options, going to the hospital. Maybe a doula you would say to your doula, you want the lights to be low in the hospital. And that's something that, we would advocate for, or let the hospital know before we arrive. You may want to play music, so your doula's there to make sure that that's set up for you. Making sure that the parents know that how important skin to skin is right after having birth, excuse me, and delayed cord cutting is another thing that's really important that doulas advocate for. So I'll take a little break in case you all had questions.
I got a mix of. It goes back to when the minister asked you a question, and then I just want to follow up on the question that was asked by Brother Ezekiel as well. As far as what the minister asked you in regards to our community and dealing with, our people within the community, like, in your opinion, through your research, how much do we know about doulas? And if there are some of us that know about doulas, why we're not hiring doulas, in the process of.
Okay, you did break up a little.
Okay, let me.
If you don't mind repeating.
No problem. No problem. I might be a little clearer this time. In our community, in the Black community, why we don't hire doulas, considering what statistics say about the death of our women going through birth? Why that's not something that we talk about in our community, from your opinion? And then if you do have some research or, information behind that, can you share that with us as well?
Okay, so just to make sure that we're clear, you're asking why do we not have doulas in the Black communities?
Yeah, why it's not talked about as much, and why we don't hear, like, because we hear this high rate of fatality of our women going through birth, and this high rate of death that's happening. But you sharing something today that can be a solution to this here. In your opinion, or through any research that you have, why we're not hiring doulas today in the process of our birth? And basically, I'm just asking from a
Okay,
opinion
great.
standpoint,
Thank you for
or
that.
if you do have,
Yes, well,
is it more a
Okay.
lack of information
I
being
don't hear
shared?
anything. Okay, so just allow me.
Just came back.
Okay.
Okay, yes, thank you. I do apologize. It was hard for me to hear you. As Brother Samuel mentioned, the Black women in the U.S. face significantly higher maternal mortality and health disparities. And we don't speak up, but when we do, our voices are not heard. So right now, what we're going through, and I do have write-up from the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. But before I read that, I just wanted to address that question. So we don't hear about doulas in our communities as much because of what I spoke about earlier. The Black women with experience, which we call midwives back in the day, who did not have medical training, before it was made official that all medical facilities providing medical assistance, had to be licensed. And that took place in the late 1800s. So before that, there were statistics done where the bodies of white women and European women were bodies that as what should I say, or studied as the bodies that scientists and physicians determine all women to have. So we have babies differently than any other nationality. And you would say, what do you mean? A birth is a birth. We have different types of complications. We have different things going with our bodies that some of the women themselves don't understand what's going on. So what do? We run to the hospitals. We don't trust those people anymore. And what happened was, as I mentioned, when the doulas, were not trusted in the communities, now statistics state that the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists state that having a birthing person or an advocate with you, no matter what that looks like, we have better birth outcomes now, less cesareans, shorter labor terms. And I'll go ahead and read what it says. It says, while the majority of births in the United States take place in a hospital or accredited birth center setting, there are patients who prefer to give birth outside the hospital and who prefer a non-physician birth attendant. Rates of planned out-of-hospital birth are expected to continue to rise. There have also been an alarming increase in labor and delivery unit closures in recent years, putting access to a nearby delivery hospital out of reach for a growing number of patients. More than 100 rural hospitals closed their labor and delivery units since 2020, impacting the majority of states. Over half of our rural hospitals in the United States do not offer labor and delivery services anymore. So these hospital and birth centers that are both licensed and accredited are the safest settings for birth, is what they're saying, while also recognizing that each patient has the right to make a medically informed decision about where and how they want to have their delivery. So because of that reason, not being educated, not having the money to become licensed is one of the reasons that doulas did not exist, but now we're on the rise. So this podcast helps put the word out there that doulas are available. Insurances are accepted for doula services. And yeah, any questions?
Awesome. No, I love that, because see, I want to now go back to, that's a spinoff of what my brother Ikezike had mentioned, because he asked you about, that's the support around it. And you talked about the before, you talked about during. What does that look like for a doula after the birth, after the child has come?
Yeah, so we do stay with the maternal family for about 6 to 12 weeks after birth. And we're like a nanny in the house. Actually, we help with breastfeeding. If the mother makes that choice to breastfeed, we help teach the mom how to latch. We may help bathe baby at times. We give education on the proper way to change a diaper. Some moms or dads don't know what that looked like. So we provide that information. For myself, I provide different information on aftercare for mom. And again, after birth, the breastfeeding, the skin to skin, which helps regulate the baby's blood pressure, helps with bonding, and we teach those things. And overall, the families, especially dad, is really grateful for the information because some of the younger generation, they just think that we go to the hospital and we have babies and we come home. And there's more to it than that if we want to have a healthy outcome and a safe space for baby. And of course, there are several different types of resources that are available for parents to get this birth education.
Okay. I mean, that's good to know. Because as a dad, and excuse me, I mean, a lot of the terminology you sharing something with me that's new, So when I speak on a term or express a terminology, it may not be something that I had known of prior to our interview and communication this show today. So excuse me if I would say something that may not align with what you're used to hearing. But yeah, thank you for that. Want to know that much because I think it's important for our audience to know as well, the process of a doula and how you see it all the way through, because I hear a lot of minister, you may know the term like post when a mother goes through birth and she done had the child and she's going through something at that time. I can't think of the term.
Postpartum.
There you go, postpartum. And I think that's a part of your certification as well, right?
Postpartum.
Yeah. But I think I think it's very important that
and no need to.
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, postpartum. I just wanted to say there was no need for apology. I understood exactly what you were saying. The screen was lagging a little bit. That's why I didn't understand earlier. But as a postpartum mother, that is a significant part of a female's healing term. If we could speak biblically, there is a process in Leviticus, and moms may want to go ahead and read Leviticus 12, where there is a process that we're going through. The whole birthing itself is the process. There are stages that we go through during birth, first, second, third, and fourth trimesters, things that take place just as well as the postpartum period. So the postpartum period, mom is healing. Mom is healing during that process. So it is an important process to know, for mom to know what is actually taking place. And that's part of the birthing support that we lend during the postpartum period.
Now this might be, and I'll let you go, minister. This might be a foolish question, but can a man be a doula?
I heard her say yes.
Oh, she did?
No,
okay.
It's not a foolish question at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I did mention it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I must have missed
Men. Now, I don't know how in male, and for the male doulas, this is no attack on you, but I don't know how, comfortable someone else would feel being a male doula, having a male doula, but they're actually available. Yes, and doula support. I haven't come across one myself yet. Most of the doulas I know are all female. Think about it. Yeah, no, we had no males in my training. But yes, a male can be a doula. And
yeah, but that's good to know.
So they don't discriminate, but they're in a minority.
Right.
And I'm gonna bring that point up. And Shiphrah, you can probably speak more, but especially myself being a father with the postpartum, with a new mother, and then if you are a partner or a father and cannot understand, like as she mentioned, it's a process. She said from the beginning, during, and after. Because if somebody think, "Ooh, get it," like it's magic, the baby popped out, and everything just magically goes back to normal. And if a mother is not aware, it can be challenging. If there's a partner or father, if they're not aware that that's a reality, that the healing has to take place. And I guess, Shiphrah, you can make, and I guess it depends on the birth. It depends on the mother. It could be 2 weeks, can be 2 months. It's different for mothers. So they have to understand, because they may think something is wrong with them when it's absolutely normal.
It is actually normal. Thank you. And as you mentioned, postpartum can actually last for a year or more for some women. One of the more important things we want to know about postpartum is that during this healing process, dad also suffers. He goes through sleep deprivation. That is a big deal. Dad, remember, mom is at home taking care of baby, and if dad is working, that's a problem. Dad has to get up for work, tired, exhausted. So those are things that, we teach them. Planning is the most important thing when it comes to advocacy and postpartum. You definitely have to plan. If you don't have a plan of how you and mom and whoever else is a part of that birth support is going to take care of the baby, the birthing system, I'm sorry, but you have to have it, because if you don't, you're going to feel alone. You're going to feel tired. You're not going to get the rest and proper healing that is necessary. Mentally, we are bothered during the postpartum period. Some people can go through some real horrific times during postpartum. It is a natural process, but if we don't have the birthing support that we need, most of these moms, sometimes that's when it takes that longer process, a year or maybe 2. And the mothers don't even realize that they're having this situation. They think that it's normal, or they don't know what to think. They're just doing it alone, or they're doing it with their birthing person, and they don't realize why some of the outcomes or some of the things that they're suffering from takes place, because they don't understand that during that postpartum period, their mental health is bothered. They go through mental distress and emotional distress during the postpartum period. So advocacy, a doula being there, helping, even if you have other children in the home, we kind of assist. Some doulas may even cook for your other children. We take care of the baby. We'll come over for an hour or 2 and, help you with managing your system, showing dad things that he could be doing, while mom is getting rest, and letting mom know that the time when her baby's sleeping, that is the time for her to get up and move around and do things that she needs to do.
How is it?
While not putting too much.
Oh, no, that's great information. Definitely informing the people what doula's duties are. Now, my question is, as a doula, what is your role in a lotus birth?
Currently, I do not provide lotus births. They are wonderful. The babies are, in some type of water, and it's from what I've seen, it looks like a really great position to have your infant in, but I, at this time, don't take part in lotus birth. And that's only because I don't have the facility for it. When the babies come out and they're put on the mother's chest for skin to skin, the lotus birth is where the placenta is still attached. And that was part of what I was speaking on before, where we advocate for what is it called? Delayed cord clamping. So while the cord is still pulsating, we just allow it to take place because it's a natural process. When they cut the cord, as soon as the baby comes out, we're depriving the baby from about 3% of its blood and stem cells. So it's the reason why we advocate for the delayed cord cutting and the skin to skin. Some of them go as long. Go ahead.
Yeah, the delayed cord cutting means that the umbilical cord stays attached to the child until it naturally just falls off, which can be anywhere from 3 to 10 and 11 days.
That is correct.
How often have you seen that as a doula?
A lot. About 10 to 12 times. That is one of the things that mother enjoys, having that skin to skin and delayed cord cutting. It gives mom and baby time to bond, allows the baby to look. So baby's seeing the first sight that the baby's seeing is mom up to about 12 inches. If you hold the baby up in mom's face, you want your face actually to be the first face that the baby sees. So yes, it's been about 12 births that I've attended that has taken place.
And a follow-up, were those home births, or were they able to do that at a facility?
I have not attended a home birth. All of my births are advocated in a birthing facility or hospital. And I'd just like to, when you ask that question, to state that I do think that it is really important, even if you're having a home birth, to have some type of medical facility expecting, or for you to come in, even if you don't need the services, but just to let them know to register with some type of medical facility during your pregnancy. I do think it is important when we have home births, they're not always successful. And in that emergency, you want them to already have the information that they need, or it will delay the process significantly.
Okay, going back a little bit, because I know you had read something to us from, I forget the name of the institution that you read the information from, but it was talking about how having a doula improves like the birth outcome and the experience as well. And I was sitting here thinking, about, some of the things that some of our children experience going through birth. And I don't know if any of it ties into, unhealthy birth, or, not having a doula or someone that can make sure that the mother is not stressed out, or, going through something during that process. But having a doula, and you can, it can be your opinion, it can be research, that you can share with us. Have you seen or is there any studies that show that it helped with the improvement of the child, in their functionality in life, by having a doula and making sure that the mother is in the best, mental state of mind going through the process of birth? Did you hear my question?
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I pretty much understood. It's lagging, but I understood. So yes, that was the ACOG, which is the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. And let's see in this minute. Another article they have here: an estimated 10 to 25% of planned out of hospital births involve postpartum transfer of care or hospital for neonatal or maternal health needs. Protocols for safe and timely postpartum transfers of the laboring parent or patient should be in place for all patients planning to give birth outside the hospital setting, regardless of apparent obstetrician or neonatal risk factors. They went on to say that it has been proven that having a doula or advocacy support, as I mentioned earlier, reduces birthing time, so it cuts the labor short. It reduces pain that the woman suffers from during labor. So yes, it has been proven that having that advocacy definitely changes the outcomes of birth. Having a advocate there for you, doula support, also strengthens you emotionally. Mom could be having some type of emotional breakdown or have been having these emotional attacks before pregnancy. So a doula coming in while the mother is pregnancy also enlightens that emotional and mental load before labor.
Okay. And and one of the things that I was just thinking about, because even in our community, and it can be all communities, when it comes to some of our children being on the spectrum, like, does that have, like, having a doula or having someone that can support that mother through birth, is there any studies that show that that can improve the health of the child and his or her functionality in life?
You are spot on.
If you don't have any research on that,
Yes, you are definitely. Yeah, I did, and I was looking for it while I was talking. You are spot on. Actually, yes, I don't have that one with me at this moment, but there are statistics that improve that the moms that have advocacy improves the outcome of pregnancy and long-term educational or mindsets of the children.
Okay.
And their health.
And I wanted to double back to this because you mentioned it and we kind of went right past it. Because I didn't know that was true, that you're saying now insurance will cover doulas, because that's something I was not aware of. And I don't think a lot of people in our community are aware that that is a service that is available.
Yes. So we do at this time accept Medicaid. If the family has Medicaid, doulas do accept Medicaid and cash and credit.
But I'm saying, and insurance companies are not even Medicaid, but insurance companies, if you request it, that is a part of the service. Because I didn't know that it was. I thought it was strictly something you had to pay outside of any insurance.
Okay, so no, yes, we do accept. I accept Medicaid and cash and credit at this moment. You may be able to use some of your other insurance for birthing and postpartum needs for your doula. So yes, we do. You can some of the insurances do cover our services. And one of the things, advocacy, I wanted to say that advocacy helps with is having a lower birth hospital bill. Some of the things that we advocate for, you know, how they push the medicines, and that's the main thing that they push, using forceps and all of their medical machines. When we advocate that none of those things be done, because a woman's body tells her what she needs during pregnancy. So advocate the woman not to have any options actually lowers the hospital bill.
So if that's true, then why the widespread endorsement of these medicines in the hospitals if a woman's body naturally provides what she needs to take her through the birth?
It's all about the money. It's all about the money. It's the systemic way of life for them. We are, you know, either patient, member, however you have it. They have their way of, you come in, let's give you this medication so we can get you out of here. It really has nothing to do with the respect for life, a new life coming into the world. I'm not for every place or birthing center or hospital. I've had my experiences, and I have 4 children, 3 births. I have a set of twins. So my birth experience was terrible. And the things that were, when they told me I needed to have a cesarean, I didn't know what that was. I was 21 years old and I didn't know what a cesarean. I'm like, what? And then when they told me what they had to do in order for me to have this cesarean, I think I held out for as I could. The medications, they, you know, the anesthesia and all of those things that were sometimes medically necessary. But the physicians in the hospital, they push these medications and these operations on us for their own convenience. It's not always medically necessary. So I birth times under medication that I probably didn't need. So they're pushing the medications because of money. If you don't have the medication, or if you do not accept the medication, they'll come in there. They come in the room, they'll get in between the doula and the patient, and they'll rub the patient and say, okay, how are you feeling? Do you think we can go ahead and give you an epidural, or whatever they want to give you? Some of the, I don't have to name what they are, but they will give you the medications so that they can go ahead. Those medications introduce labor. And if your body isn't ready for that labor, guess what? Labor pains contractions are about to start. So now you're going to be contracting for hours for no reason if you didn't take the medication. And they push the medication so that they can go. And usually what happens is, once those labor pains start after you accept the medication, now they have to give you a cesarean because you've been under distress for too long.
Right. I think we're at the top of the hour. We're going to get ready to go to a commercial break. But when we come back, I want to get a little bit into education around the community. We'll get a little bit into cost, and we'll get a little bit into key takeaways as well. All right, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're going to go to a commercial break.
Because Scott & Associates always treats me like family, I refer my family to them. So when preparing for my taxes, and I know exactly what to bring in coming in, it makes the process so much easier. Anyone should hire Scott & Associates because they are professional, respectful, and very knowledgeable. And with all of my heart, I can always count on them.
What do all these people have in common besides a beautiful smile, healthy teeth, and gums? They all use Zodi toothpaste. Zadi toothpaste is made with all natural ingredients. Zadi toothpaste is fortified with moringa and baking soda. Zadi toothpaste is suds-free, making it an excellent choice for kids. All natural, fortified, and suds-free. Get yours today at noystore.com.
All right, welcome back. We're here again with our dear sister Shiphrah. She's a certified doula and birth doula, that is. Because from what I understand, there's a lot of different doulas. So we want to be clear on who we're talking to today. Before we get into that, I want to just highlight we have the Trade Expo Fair that's coming up October the 24th. Can we put that flyer? Can we put that on the screen right now? And make sure we have that running across the screen as well. All right, so you'll see it on the screen right now. We have our third annual trade, and I think I entered in their vocational trade expo fair that's going down October the 24th this year. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, third annual trade expo fair going down October the 24th. You can go to our website at livetalkorl.com and you can register for the event. And then you also, as a vendor, you can sign up as a vendor as well. We're going to try to get some of our vendors from last year. But if you are interested in being a vendor, you can also sign up to be a vendor. Someone will reach out to you. And just keep in mind, when you do register, and we like to try to get people to RSVP now, because you'll get a continuous email reminder all the way up into the event. So that kind of helps you out, even if you had something else going on, at least you get a reminder of what's going on. All right, so definitely we'll be promoting and marking this all the way up until that day. And we look forward to having a bigger, better event. All right, so again, we're talking about, yeah, you keep it running. We want to make sure everybody can get that information. All right, my dear sister. So we're coming to the close. So we want to talk a little bit about how families can benefit from having a doula. Let's talk a little bit about that. We're gonna highlight our community because I think our community is one of the community that definitely needs it, but I know all community need a doula. So let's talk a little bit about that. How can families benefit from having a doula? If you're talking to the average, you're talking to our audience right now.
I'm sorry if you said something, it didn't come.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think my connection is a little bad. Go ahead. Can you repeat that? I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I said
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, ma'am. I said we winding down a little bit, so we just gonna get on the, kind of talk to our audience right now. So how can families benefit from having a doula? Did you not hear me again?
Okay, so families can benefit. Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yes. How can families benefit from a doula was your question. Okay, great. So yeah, so one of the benefits of having a doula is to encourage the birthing person to ask questions before agreeing to procedures in the hospital, because we don't know any better. Women that look like me, we don't know. We go into the hospital trusting in whatever is said, that's what we agree with. So having someone there to advocate for you, to inform you of the questions to ask and the ways to handle those questions. For example, if they come in saying, okay, we need to do this right away, maybe to do a cesarean, you would ask if you could have a moment to either speak with your partner. If there is no partner, can you have a moment to think about it? And you want to ask the reason, what is the reason for the cesarean? Can I wait a little longer? You know, and if I wait a little longer, you know, what are the risks? The other benefits of having a doula is for emotional support. Whether you have a partner or do not have a partner, that extra hand is always accepted. It makes you feel more comfortable knowing that you have someone else there to call and talk to about some of the things that you may be experiencing during your pregnancy and after birth. Some questions about the baby. If your nutritionist, your midwife is not available to ask those questions. Doulas home environment. I've had experience with so many different types. I shouldn't say types, so many different women, young, middle age, and older. And we all labor and go through this maternal stage differently, you know, so to have someone to understand without judging you, you know, just to be there for support, just that listening ear is also a great benefit. And the extra assistance for the other children in the home is not a bad idea either. Someone to labor with you, walk those halls with you while those pains are coming down. I think that's the special part for me, that part right there, you know, letting them know that they can handle it, having someone to wrap your arms around when that contraction comes. That's my bet. That's the favorite part for me. And we also advocate for medical language that may not be clear. Sometimes these physicians will act like they can't explain it in layman's because they don't want you to know, because they know you're going to reject the service. So the thing for the hospital is you come through and you go through whatever the system that they have planned for you. That's an easy birth for the hospital. For the parent, not so much. We have things that we want to do during our pregnancy. We want that birth experience to be an experience of a lifetime. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, you want to ask about the business?
Yes, Sister Shiphrah, because I know you recently started East Wind Community Care, and you talking about a lot that you do, but if you would like to, you know, tell us something about your business, or if you want to talk a little bit more about your business, by all means, now would be the time to talk about it. Tell us, you know, what we need to hear or what you want us to.
Thank you. Yes. So East Wind is one word. East Wind, I started after having these experiences with the maternal mothers. I've found that we need a space that we could be able to, women, maternal women and their families could join in and have this birth education as a family. So a gathering. So East Wind was actually started on the backs of these advocacies that I have gone through observing the needs of these maternal parents and their families. The birth education is definitely needed in the communities for people who look like me. Some of them just have no clue whatsoever. And I want to be able to, East Wind community, we want to be able to educate the women and educate their families and partners about what birth is, what it looks like when you go into these birthing facilities. Also, what it looks like if you're trying to have a home birth. Not everyone is appropriate to have home births, and some people understand that. Getting maternal care, providing information about what maternal care is, East Wind also offers. So gathering everyone in the neighborhood who is seeking education to come together. There's a program that is laid out that we will go through with these parents and their families through it's a 12-week program that we plan to provide information and some hands-on materials, help families with their lives at home, what it looks like after birth and returning back to work. And that last part, returning back to work, has a lot to do with how the mother will work on breastfeeding when she returns to work, if she chooses to breastfeed, because we push that. Breastfeeding is the best way to feed, but every child has to eat regardless, but we push breastfeeding.
Okay.
Shiphrah, I'm gonna piggyback on what you just said, because I have a new grandchild and I have frozen breast milk in my freezer when they bring them over. So if it was fresh, great. If not, we can take it out of the freezer and use it. So it's not like you can't do it. It can be easy.
And that's a good thing.
Rose up.
Oh, did it? Okay. You still there, sis? You can hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. It seemed like we're having some buffering issues here and there.
Okay, go ahead. Can you ask?
What I said is because I have a new grandson and I had frozen breast milk in my freezer. So when they brought them over, I could use fresh or I could use frozen, so it doesn't have to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Not difficult.
Can you repeat that?
He stated a comment. He was just sharing how it's easy to, you had mentioned about the breast milk. And he was just stating how easy it is to do the pump and put the milk in the freezer and keep it fresh. Did you hear that?
It's that lag. That's what's doing it. I don't think you can.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So yes, it is very easy. It is an easy process. Pumping, storing the milk. Yes, it is. One thing you should know, or our listeners should know, that the milk that comes out during your child's feeding has all the proper nutritions and everything it has at that very moment. So after a few hours of not utilizing the milk that you pumped right away, it feeds baby, yes, but it does not still contain the nutritional value as I guess maybe I'm going to say about 4 hours that you pumped 4 hours before. So we freeze milk and we utilize it later. It feeds baby, yes, but it does not still hold the same nutritional value as when you first pump the milk. But back to what Brother Samuel was saying, it is very easy to pump, to store the milk. Even when you're going to work, mothers can pump their milk and have it frozen to, if they're going to daycare or for whoever's caring for the child when they're at home, can continue to have breast milk. And I don't know if we have time. I could talk about why breastfeeding is important.
No, I mean, that need to be talked about in our community. Go right ahead. That need to be shared. Go ahead.
Definitely. Yeah. So breastfeeding is the best nutrition for our babies. The body designed this milk for this purpose. And breast milk, the colostrum, the first milk that comes out, your baby's first feeding, is that milk is an antibiotic for the lining of your baby's stomach. That is the first thing that goes into your baby's body and lines the infant's belly for protection. It is set up like an antibiotic. The production enters your baby's body and lines your baby's belly with a protective lining, health and tissue repair. This milk is also good for breast milk, brain. So breastfeeding supports the womb of the mother, the healing after birth, due to its growth factors and nutrition content. It is free. It is on demand, meaning it is always available, and it supports bonding. I know you asked me a question about statistics earlier. Statistics has shown that breastfeeding your child definitely, how can I say, makes them smarter and more knowledgeable in their growth, in their cognitive growth. And all of the other formulas are made in a lab, and there are some plant-based. They're either plant-based or animal-based or both.
So it sounds like you give them the option, but of course, option number one is going to be from the mother.
Before they wash off. Could you guys hear? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I did want to mention also, I mentioned skin to skin with baby right after birth, which means not cutting the cord, laying the baby on mom's bare chest. I also just wanted to note that if mom, for any reason, has a medical emergency, dad can also do this bare skin to skin method, which regulates the baby's heart rate and is also for bonding time. So whoever the caregiver is, if it be dad or someone else, you can also do skin to skin. There is also a white substance on the baby, a waxy white substance is the vertex. This is also acts like a protective covering for the skin. While baby is in the inside, this white waxy substance keeps the baby safe from infection. On the outside, you do not want the hospitals to wash this completely away. You want to have this stay on your baby for, I would say, at least a week, 7 days. Your baby's skin is still developing outside of the womb, and this white waxy substance protects the baby from infections and dirt and bacteria.
I know we're getting close to the end of the show, and I just want to ask you, do you cover all of Florida, or is it just West Palm Beach?
I offer virtual and in person. So wherever you are in the world, if you want to join virtual, I cover the area as well.
Okay. Are you connected with other doulas in other areas?
Yes, we're like a family. You know, it's a really beautiful thing. These women, the ones that I've met in my training, the ones that I was introduced to out of my training. So we have a method that if for any reason I have become your doula, and for any reason I can't make it, just say you're on your way to the hospital. So the patient will let us know, the mommy would let us know that they're on their way to the hospital. And during that time, we also offer some type of guidance, because some mothers get pregnant and they go into labor and they just think, things just get scary for them. So we advocate for them. So if I am not available, another one of my doula partners, with the approval of the mom and family, will join that family in my absence.
So you'll be considered like a resource then. So if someone's looking for a doula, just sharing your information would be a key form of resource for that person. You say that?
That is it. Yes, I can't say that. So I am a doula for hire. I am a doula for hire. You can reach me, send me an email. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and I was just going to say that. How can someone get in touch with you?
You can reach me by email. And that email address is eastwindforthecommunity@gmail.com. The 4 is the numeral 4. eastwindforthecommunity@gmail.com. Once you reach out through me via email, I have a system set up that will send you out some further information for us to connect, and that will provide a phone number if we are a match.
Okay. And then as far as phone number.
Yes, so 954-300, so 954-300-1683.
All right. And I did have some other questions for you, but I know we're getting to the close of the show.
I am on.
Say that again. Put her information.
Okay.
Change her information.
I was just saying that I am on social media, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. So we'll make sure we have this on the screen. Is East West, the number 4.
East Wind.
East Wind. I'm sorry. East Wind. I'm looking right at it too. I said West. East Wind. East Wind, the number 4. The community, right, sis?
Yes.
The community @gmail.com.
At Gmail.
Got that up there? And also put in her number, 954-300-1683. 954-300-1683. And basically, he's going to put that on the screen to make sure that everyone has that information. And sis, while he's doing that, I'm going to give you any last words that you want to share with the audience in regards to doulas and why it's important that, they reach out to you if they're in the middle of childbirth, or if they're going through the process, or even thinking about, parenting.
Okay, yes. So as we've been talking about today, what a doula is, and you've learned all the information about our advocacy and the support that we give. So if you're interested in a doula, the information is on the screen. And if you're interested in becoming a doula, you can also reach out to me and I can help you with those resources in your community. male or female. We don't discriminate. And it is important for us to be educated no matter what type of service we're receiving. So this is a life-giving or bringing situation. You need this information so that it is passed down to those that come after you, for you to be able to sit with someone else after going through the experience. The more we get this information out in our communities, the more vital our community becomes. This information strengthens the communication. It brings closer bonds in the relationships of maternal mothers and their families. And when I say families, I'm not just speaking of the companion of a man and a woman. We have grandmothers and aunties and all those people in the families that help us take care of our children. It is still a community event. You know, the community is a little crazy out there right now, but I'm speaking of those that we trust. So it is important that everyone in the household is educated regarding bringing forth a child and what happens after that, the postpartum period, what to look for emotionally distressed women in the home. We can't just no longer allow them to just go through these situations alone. We, as family midwives, doulas, we need to be there for these families. So if you are in need, or if you just want to have someone there to help you through these your maternal labor, then reach out to Shiphrah or any doula in your community.
Right. All right, brothers, any last words before we get ready to close out?
Yes. From the information that you received today, pregnant or plan to be pregnant, look into learning about how a doula can help you, because there's numerous benefits from it. And have a great afternoon.
Yeah, I just want to thank Shiphrah for her passion and for sharing that information with us on the show.
Indeed. I want to thank Sister Shiphrah for coming on to the show as well. And I want to thank our listening audience for just tuning in today. And I keep it real short and brief. Support the mother and you strengthen the future. From the host, I want to say peace and prosperity. From we are out.
Thank you for watching Live Talk. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Live Talk Orlando. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit on the notification button so that you can see more videos like this. If you want to join the show, email us at livetalkorl@gmail.com. You can also follow the host on Facebook and Instagram at Arthur Jeremiah. And visit the website, thenoystore.com, to pick up your copy of The Spiritual Significance of a Name.